Well, I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined now by John Lay from ExxonMobil. You've had years of experience in the oil and gas industry, but particular specialty in oil spill response and emergency response. You're also one of the keynote speakers this afternoon. Can you give us an overview of what's going to be discussed this afternoon?
Certainly. So for the last 3.5 years, we've been working on a joint industry project, and 19 of the major international oil companies from around the world have participated in that. And there were three follow-ups internationally after Macondo. The first one, and it's always our priority, is around prevention. The second one, and that's the session that's going on now in Gordon A, is on intervention, capping and containment. And then the third one, which is our joint industry project, is around the oil spill response itself. We've been working very closely with the API. There are parallel efforts have been going on in the United States. And we're basically wrapping up, and this afternoon is an opportunity to tell the highlights of that story. I mean, in 3 hours we can only really scratch the surface.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about dispersants, which is always one of the more interesting and contentious topics. We're going to talk about the evolution of tiered preparedness and response. We're going to talk about one of the areas where technology is shifting, which is the whole area of surveillance, modeling, visualization, and how ultimately, that improves decision making in the command center and encounter rate with the oil, which is what ultimately matters.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some outreach and communication. What are we going to do with all of these good materials that we've developed over the last 3 years? How can we ensure that relevant audiences are better informed? Because we do believe that all of the response tools available to us should be used in the most effective way in the event of a spill. And therefore, we need to get that level of understanding up. We need to get as much as possible pre-approved, so that we're not debating during an incident, we're really moving with the action.
Well, John, you mentioned there Macondo. It feels like we can't talk about oil spill response without mentioning Macondo. Do you think industry as a whole has responded quickly enough to the lessons that had to be learned after that incident?
I think today we are far better prepared, and we have learnt a lot, and I'm really very proud of the work that we've done, and I really do feel that we are much better prepared, and we've learnt the lessons, we've followed it up. We have a level of alignment and cohesion across industry, certainly the companies that participated in our joint industry project, which is really quite impressive.
Yeah.
So I feel you can never be confident, but I feel reasonably optimistic. Yeah.
It's a different industry from what it was at the time of Macondo, and now companies it's all about cost efficiency and saving money. How does oil spill response and emergency response in general fit into this new era of cost savings and cost efficiency?
Well, I mean, we've been there before. This isn't the first cycle where the emphasis has switched to cost efficiency, and really, the whole area of emergency response is about your insurance.
Yeah.
And you need to maintain that insurance. And fortunately, we do have really very strong foundations in place, but of course we need to sustain those foundations, and that's probably the challenge for the next couple of years.
Well, I wish you very well for the session this afternoon. Thank you very much for talking to us, John.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.